to continue the program that we have been going on through concerning our teenage. And today we want to tackle another version of the topic we want to discuss tonight. Please, we welcome you, and please keep on touch. Don't change. Don't divert from where you are. We are on a very great topic we want to discuss. And I know we are speaking to teenagers who are watching us live. We have mothers and fathers who have teenagers in their homes. And we are bringing this show as an eye-opener or as a help to our young people and even to parents who have teens at home. At least you can have something to understand. So we are grateful even tonight that we have guests with me here on the studio. I have one and the only Madam Faith. We have been with her here. So please, Madam Faith, please say hi to the viewers.
Good evening, viewers. My name is Faith Wanchiro. I'm a mother of teenagers, and tonight we're here. Don't move, stand by so that you can move together with us. I know teenagers are home, youths are home. Most of the schools have closed, so stay tuned.
Well, thank you, Faith. God bless you so much. Also with me, I have Kate, who is a teenage. And Kate, please introduce yourself. You have never been with us. Introduce yourself for a minute.
Good evening. My name is Kate.
Wow. Thank you, Kate. Today we have a very interesting topic about stress management. And my viewer, I believe that you'll be able to enjoy and you'll be able to understand some of the insights concerning the teenage stress and how to manage it. And to introduce the topic, we want to tackle on several issues for the time that we have concerning the stress, the causes of stress, how we can be able to manage stress as a teenager, how you can be able to manage stress, even as a parent, how we can be able to help our teenage to manage stress at home. We are having a very long holiday of 2 months. Najua wazazi wengine saa hizi wameanza kujipanga maprogram, tutafanya nini na watoto wetu miezi mbili. Please, don't mind, God is with you, and also we need to help our teenage that they may not be swallowed or being taken away by stress, and we can be able to see what normally happens when such cases follow on them. And we are believing God that we are here to help somebody on such kind of a show that we are having tonight. So please, welcome. We are dealing with stress management, and I would like maybe we interact 1 or 2, 3 things and understand what is stress management, or in the actual question. Let me begin by asking what is stress. Faith, welcome.
Thank you, Pastor Sammy.
Yes.
Stress is when an emotional event occurs and your body goes off. The alarm goes off in your body. Mm-hmm. Because it is a situation where, in the event of something or a situation that has happened to you, and you are not able to manage that situation very well, it brings about stress. Wow,
thank you very much. So, according to Faith, there are things that makes somebody, or that there are issues that can fight somebody can undergo, that can make somebody to be mind ama the capacity ya kuhandle hayo mambo inakuwa yeye hana uwezo. To my sister Faith, there are things that a young person or even a mature person can undergo, and they can be too heavy for such a person to overcome. And maybe, Kate, what do you understand by stress?
What I understand by stress is how your body reacts when you are undergoing through a challenge, under pressure of something that is maybe happening around your life. You are not able to manage it effectively.
Okay. So, in natural sense, stress can have so many definitions, but I believe at least you have a rough idea of what you are talking about. Now, we are talking about stress management. Now, we have come to the realization that there's stress, ama kuna kitu inaitwa stress, is a kind of an issue that comes in the life of a person that needs this somebody to be helped, because inamweza nguvu, ama yeye mwenye haezi, anahitaji asaidiwe ku overcome that issue. So Faith, what do you understand by stress management? What is stress management?
Stress management is when a person or maybe a teenager or a parent who is undergoing something that has overwhelmed that person. Stress management is when that person needs to know how to manage the situation that is overwhelming the person. For example, if you are going through an emotional situation, like for a teenager, because most of the time we talk about the teenagers, if a teenager is going through academic stress, because it comes in a version that the teenage child is trying to give good grades. And when in a situation that he finds maybe that mathematics, that chemistry, or that social in the CBC system is becoming too difficult for him to perform well, he needs to be taught how to manage the stress.
Okay.
Because when it becomes too much, it brings about issues to the body. So it is good we teach our teenage, and we also teach ourselves as parents how to overcome the stress situation. That is what we call stress management. How will I overcome whatever situation that I'm going through? How will I overcome the challenge that I'm going through so that it doesn't overwhelm me and start bringing me issues? Because it moves from a challenge to a situation that escalates to you're not able to handle it anymore. Yes.
Wow, so it's like a strategy, a set of strategy you can bring it into action to manage and to reduce the stress.
Yes.
So there are things that you need to bring into place in your life that you can be able to overcome what you are going through. So, Kate, you are teenage. Now, as a teenage, what do you think is a great cause of stress in a teenage like you?
What I can say, even as teenagers, sometimes we are affected by a lot of things in life, especially maybe when we have very demanding situations. Maybe, for example, a parent demands good grades, and maybe you are not able to deliver it effectively, and so they keep you under pressure. Maybe I can say one of the things that mainly causes us teens to be like stressed. Number one, it's academics. Like you really want to do well, but the some parents are discouraging, some like something of the sort. The other thing that I can say that maybe causes stress, which I can say maybe affects also poor performance, it is maybe when you have family problems. Maybe, for example, your mom and your dad are quarreling, and you don't have that peace of mind. So at situation that you are in, you don't have the capacity to handle that.
So on that area of, let's come to the academic stress, because this is where so many teens, this is one of the areas where the stress is coming. I know you are learning and you want to make it in academics, and then maybe you must be in either high school or university. So kuna issue ya, I have my daughter who is a teen, an early teen. Nasikiaga akisema hata juzi alikuwa ananiambia na hizo workbook staki. So nikamuuliza, what are you saying? Do you want to be free the whole weekend, the whole of the holiday? Kaniambia hiyo kitabu mimi sitaki. So I can see an aspect whereby young people, they don't want to be burdened. They don't want to be loaded with homeworks, with a lot of issues to do with academics. Yani, it's like they don't want to dwell or to concentrate all their life in academics. What do you, in the area of academic stress, can you point some 2 or 3 areas in the area of academics where, as a teen, you feel this is where the point or the great source of stress comes from in the area of academics? Because that's where you are. Let's start there.
I can say in the area of academics, it is when you are trying to put out your best in your academics, but then the parent maybe is not positive. You are really trying your best, but then they are seen as if you're not doing enough. So as they pressure you to do more, you lose interest because you are really willing to do your best. But then when there is too much pressure around you, you lose interest in doing whatever because it is not what you want anymore. It is about what my parents want. And when it becomes about what another person wants, it really becomes challenging because it is not from within you. It is out of pressure. Yes, and as much as you desire, you can't.
So as a teenage, there's this pressure to perform because parents want to see the results, want to see the product of the fees. Unajua hiyo fees, anaangalia anasema kwamba ile fees nimekulipia hata ningekuwa nimejenga keja hapa ningekuwa napata talent. Kwa hivyo hii pressure sometimes ni zile fees amewekelea pale. Amejinyima. So kuna hiyo pressure to perform. Na pia kuna that fear of failure. Those 2 things, they are working in one person. Kuna pressure ya mzazi, lazima uperform. Na kuna another area, nawe hutaki you have the fear of failure. How can you be able to manage that? Because your parent need results and you also want to perform because good performance is your pride. So when you fail, you feel unworthy. So how can you be able to manage that? With a context ya kwamba not everyone is good in academics, lakini kuna pressure. Mzazi anasema lazima uperform. Hata kujua kama unaelewa masomo. And how do you manage between the pressure of performance to perform and fear to fail?
Let me start by the fear of failing. One thing that I can tell my fellow teenagers is that whatever, even the word of God says that He will bless the work of your hands. So as long as you put effort into your studies, no matter if you fail or you do well, you just keep trusting in God and also believe in yourself. Believe that you are able. One thing that my parent advises me mostly, don't compare yourself with other people. You are talented in one area, another person is talented in the other area. So do not bring comparison.
Shikilia hapo. Let's go to mzazi sasa. Sasa tuko kwa mzazi. Wewe uko na majenzi. Najua wako shule. Yani ile pressure unawaweka, how are they responding to the pressure? Najua unaweka pressure. Of course wewe kama mzazi huwezi waambia ati I'm comfortable with kajembe. Kale kai. You can't clap when your son is bringing kajembe at home. So how are they responding, or what are you doing in that area?
Thank you, Pastor Sammy.
Yes.
Being a mother of teenage, I try to work with the teenage capabilities because I'm a mother of 3 teenagers, so I will pick one by one of my teens children and I'll be able to see the capability that is in each child. By that, it will be able to help me put pressure to the teenage child, my teenagers, depending on the capability and the ability that is in each child. Because you cannot tell me, I can say my son is not doing so well, for example, in mathematics, and I'll have to keep on pressurizing him. Give me an A. I want an A in mathematics. I want an A in chemistry. I want an A in biology and physics and so and so. I look at the ability and I keep on encouraging them and I tell them, I know you can do better. You are not yet where I want you to be, but you are not also where you desire to be, because I want you to to give me a promising grade. Give me a promise. We make bets, and I tell them, give me a grade, like what is the ability, what do you think you will give me in this mathematics? And I keep on encouraging them, because I have formed, do I say, is it not a habit, or we have formed a trend with my teenage. And for the primary level, I tell my teenage, whenever you give me an A, any subject that you give me an A, I give you 500 shillings.
Wow. You've looked at the
Yes, we opened an account with each and every child, and we make deposits. So for the opener, for the half term, for the end term, if you give me an A in the primary, I'll give you 500. For the high schoolers, I tell them, you give me a grade A, I give you 1,000.
So anytime this child performs both an A, now A, or the sum of everything, the mini grade.
Yes.
A.
Yes, I give them. When you give me an A in high school, I give you 1,000. So if you come home with 5 A's, I'll be able to give you your 5,000 shillings. I will work hard as a parent, because I know God will provide. I believe in that God will make a way where there seems to be no way.
Na huoni kama atatafuta Mwakenya kwanza a copy paste?
It's very hard. 98% of it not really, because in the school rules, they know the school rules. When you are caught with Mwakenya, you know you are suspended from doing the exams. It could bring about suspension. It could bring about being sent away from school, expelled from school. So I also tell them, do not go beyond what you cannot give me. I'm not telling you that to put pressure, but I'm giving you that challenge to encourage you. Those grades are not mine. They are yours.
Now, let me just come to you. We have now CBC.
Yes.
And some of our teenagers, especially the early teenagers, they are in CBC. Now, this is different from Form 4. The 844, I mean.
Yes, because I have teenagers who are in high school. And there's the 2 teenagers who are in high school, they are doing the 844.
Yeah.
But the other preteen and the teens, the ones that are in primary school, are doing the CBC system. So I try to encourage them with that, so that I can be able to manage the stress of academic pressure.
So maybe I can ask on that note, how can you be able to manage your child? Okay, in one way you are putting some targets.
Yes.
Which are telling your son, please wake up. And then you want to be realistic, such that ya kwamba hii pressure ikiwa nyingi atakosa kukua na normal life yake. Yani kila akili itakuwa inalani kwa hiyo target. So, and also you need this young guy or this teenage to also continue with the rest of the life, because not everything is not academic.
Oh yes.
So how do you balance so that this stress, at least even where do you nimeweka ma target na huyu mtoto anajua kadhao sitaki kanipite. How do you manage? Okay, how do you observe your sons?
What I do, Pst Sammy, personally as a parent, I try to teach about time management. And for those who are in boarding school, I try to work with the timetable they have at school, because you find most schools break from 4. And like one of my sons, I try to, from 4, what do you do from 4? Because from 4 to 7, up to when the lessons will start, leave alone that you will have supper, I think at 6:20, they get supper, their dinner at 6:20. What do you do from that time of 4? Because I look at, like I had said before, I look at the capability that is in a child. Because you find one child is doing so well in sports, the other child is doing so well in drama. So what do you do with that time? Just create time. 30 minutes are enough. Follow the teacher in the subject, in the areas that you feel you are weak.
Okay.
30 minutes are enough for you to do 1 or 2 questions. The other 30 minutes, go do your cleaning. The other time, you've got time to go and do sports if you're in sports or you're in drama, so that I can try to get them off from the academic pressure.
Okay.
because not everything is in academic. Nowadays, look about the CBC system that we have that has been putting pressure on parents. But at the same time, I try to look, it is balancing so many things because it is showing us as parents who did 844 that academic is not everything. You know, you cannot tell a child that academic is not everything, because at least knowledge is important. Because one thing I've realized, and I keep on telling my children, one day you realize how knowledge is powerful in the corridors of power.
Okay.
Because when you have knowledge, and your knowledge will bring about wisdom. When you have knowledge of something, in the knowledge that you get in the books, when you are in the corridors of power, you will realize how that knowledge was very important.
So I think one day we shall bring a professional teacher. At least this person can help us to understand how CBC has come to reduce stress in academics. One day we bring a professional teacher. At least that's the idea. Okay. Now to you, Kate. I am one of the people who normally do the high school ministry, and sometimes we have a discussion to understand what is a problem. So many young people have involved themselves to evil things like sexual perversion and drugs because of the stress at home. It's something that I have came to realize here kwamba watoto wengi, especially the girl child, they are so much carried by the environment at home. So maybe it might not be your case, but maybe you have encountered some people who are undergoing stress from home. How do you see, or how have you ever encountered such a person at your school life?
Personally, I can say I've encountered such, and some of them are able to get over it. Some of them, it really becomes over hectic to them, and maybe so what I can tell a teenager out there, do not take your home stress to school. Yes.
Mateenager, mnasikia, don't carry your home stress at school. Differentiate between the school life and family. But do you think it is possible? I had cases, like few cases in one of the school, and this girl, it was a girls' school. They were saying they are so much troubled, especially where they came from and the problems at home, and they know they are going back home, especially at this particular time they have closed schools. Kama nyumbani kinawaka moto na anajua bado huko ndiko atarudi. Do you think this person can be able to separate the home life and school life, having in mind after school I still go back there?
I can say it's very tricky. It's very challenging. Like, because home is home. Paka mzungu alisema east or west, home is the best. But what I believe, everything is possible. As much as inaweza kaa kuwa ngumu, I believe it is possible. Alafu, you should understand that whatever issues are going at home, you are not the fault. You know, most people, like, they make themselves wakisema that I am the center. It is because I was born with. That's why you have these problems. Like, watu wengi, they tend to judge themselves because of the situations maybe going around their homes, their lives. One thing I can encourage a teenager out there: do not blame yourself. Do not blame yourself for whatever happened. You just focus on your life, focus on being better, and also involve God. That is one thing that I can encourage. That involve God in everything. Yes.
Yeah, to play. A teenage, you have a role also to play for your parents, because when there's peace in the family, you are the beneficiary about. Now, come back to faith as a parent. You know, children have pressure. Maana wazazi mnaweka pressure. Yani vita za between husband and wife, ama wengine ni single mother. Wakiwa na stress wanatolea watoto wao, wanasiwekelea hapo. Sasa mtoto anashindwa, mzazi ananipatia hii pressure yote, nifanye nini? what's happening at home and how are you going to help our parents? Because in the case, is a study case. Personally, I've encountered that there's a lot of pressure from home ambayo imebebwa na watoto hawa na wengine wako shule, they are not performing because of that pressure, that pain. Wengine mnaongea naye mpaka analia machozi. So how can you help?
When it comes to family issues, family issues have really burdened the teenage and the youth child. It has really burdened the child because when there's a conflict at home and the parents tend, there are conflicts that go beyond, and maybe one of the partner is not a partner who is looking at the welfare of the child. And that's what makes it end up affecting the child. Because you can find between both parents, there's a parent who is trying to manage that family conflict in a way that it will not affect the child. And I'm here to encourage parents because issues will always be there. But as parents back at home, let us try as best as you can, because children are a blessing from God. And when you have a blessing in the house, whether the parent is separated, whether the parent is divorced by maybe circumstance or by situation, because nobody wants to be in a situation that sometimes we find ourselves in, maybe a situation of divorce and maybe a situation of separation. There is no parent who would want to come across that situation, because when you are getting married, you get married so that you can have a happy home and a happy marriage. But when circumstances come along the way, and they tend to happen, as parents, let us try to avoid bringing issues of our separations, of our divorce to our children, because it is really affecting the child at school. It brings stress to that child, and it is where as parents and where as teachers we need to introduce something that is called mental health. Because mental health is not something that should be kept waiting until a child is maybe grown, or maybe a child is becoming a teenager, from teenager to the youth, from youth to adulthood, and we have not taught our children about mental health. Because when you bring about the issue of teaching our children about the mental health, it will help them. Even when it comes to situations like your parents, ni wale watu wa kugombana, God forbid, ni wale wazazi wa kupigana, not something that we would want to happen, but at some point it happens in other families. So when we teach our children about mental health, as young as they are, they will be able to manage situation when it comes to family crisis and family issues that children are carrying and tagging it along at school. Because you find it is really affecting our children. It is really, really affecting our children.
Yeah, there's a great cry outside there because
Yes.
of the family language. Then, parents may have differences and they may differ, but now, why are some of them, they are bringing these language even to the table? Why don't they sort it out there? And then because this problem, these children, they are having, it is because of what they see and what they experience at home. Na fahari wawili wakipigana, si nyasi inaumia. Sasa watoto ndio wanakuwa nyasi. They are the casualty number one. Okay, they say, wife anaweza rudi kwao na husband arudi kwao, huyu mtoto atabaki wapi? Amezaliwa huko, kwa hivyo kwao sio kule na sio pande hii. So yeye ndiye anabebaga the weight of that pain. And this is what is affecting so many young people, na stress nyingi zimekuwa mahali pale. So how can we advise the parent concerning now on handling their issues and giving their children a better place at home without involving them in their stress?
Personally, by the help of God, I would say as parents, like I had said earlier before, like you will find, even as much as I'm a mother, maybe I try to give my best so that my child may not know the circumstance or the situation that is happening between me and the father. But you find maybe the father is not putting any efforts to it. He maybe the emotions have overwhelmed him, and he is not able to control it. But I keep on encouraging that one parent who feels like I will protect my child. I will start speaking with your child about mental health. Sit down with your child and speak with him about the issues that are happening, the happenings that are there, because there's a situation that comes that you are no longer able to hide what is happening to the child, because the child can be able to see for herself or himself what is happening, because others we find they are abusive in the marriage, they use abusive language, others they end up fighting between the wife and the wife and the husband, and the child is there and the child witnesses it. So I would say, as that one parent who is not to that issue, that you really didn't want it to happen, sit down with your child, create that mental health awareness, and it will be able to help your child overcome it. Because the child will always feel, maybe I have that one parent, I have that one mother or that one dad who can be able to help, he's there for me, and he's able to show me that everything else is going to be fine. You know, even when the situation is like this, there is always that parent that the child tends to run to. And that is why we always say there should be, at least between both parents, there should be a parent that is able to relate with the child very well. Because you always find one parent maybe ni mkali, mwingine sio mkali sana. So the child is always able to run to one person. Kuna mwenye ana feel the child feels, I'm so confined when I'm speaking about the situation with mom. I'm so confined when I'm speaking about the situation with dad. So you'll always find there is that one parent yenye mtoto anakimbilia sana. Because maybe of the situation the child has found himself or herself in, and he tends to discuss it with one of the parents, and the parents maybe tend to give a good guideline, or maybe try to condemn the situation in a very positive way, and the child ends up feeling like, yes, I'm feeling protected. So I would advise the parents back at home, kindly let's look at the situation of stress in our children, as much as it can be pressing. Remember, that is why you see nowadays, Pastor Sammy, you find us as grown adults, you find sometimes we are trying to fight with situations that happened long way ago, even when you're an adult. You find there are situations that are bringing you way back because of maybe a situation that happened back at home between both of your parents, and you experienced it. So you find it's bringing about stress in some adulthood, and you find some of the adults tend to carry that situation even as they grow up. Anashindwa kuachilia hiyo kitu. So my fellow parents back at home, by the help of God, I know our God is able to do it, and he will be able to help us. Because when God introduced the marriage institution, he knew this marriage is doable. This marriage between these two people is doable. So let us be able to avoid issues that will tend to show or create a picture in our children that will finally come to affect our children.
So on that note, it might be even very, very possible that there are people who are alive today, na anaitwa shosho, na their father ama their mother ambaye aliwazaa alizikwa kitambo. They are still holding pains and grudges of somebody who is still in the grave. Okay, now let's come to Faith, to Kate. Okay, stress, especially as a young teen. When stress persists in the life of somebody, inaelekea wapi ama inaelekeza huyu mtu wapi as a young person?
I can say that when stress persists, it causes a lot of things. Number one, I think it can cause low self-esteem, such that this person can feel as if they are not valued anymore by anyone. Because when you are showed as if you are rejected at home, you assume as if everyone in your life does not want you there. And it really affects mostly mentally and emotionally, more than physically. The second thing I can say, it attracts some suicidal thoughts, because you feel as if no one really cares about you. No one really wants to be around your circle. So when you are lonely, like, you are not able to maneuver because you are still in a stage of growing, you are still in a stage of learning. So if you are not able, it will really affect you to have those suicidal thoughts and
No.
maybe low self-esteem.
Yeah, we come to that point. There are so many people, even young people, who are watching us, and some maybe they watch us even after this. Some of them will get that link or should be shared something of the sort. Now, how can you help them as a young person? You have managed, even if the stress are not the same, but at your area, at your life, maybe you have undergone some stress and you are being able to manage them. How can you help a teenage outside there who see it is the only best thing he or she can do is to take away his life because of the issues that he or she is that are going through? How can you help that person as a teenager?
I can say the first step maybe you need to take that it is you accept yourself. Accept yourself, and you know, in this world not everyone will love you. You should understand in this world that not everybody will love you. And so number one, I feel like you should first accept yourself. Accept and give yourself an identity. Like tell yourself that I am able, that I am worth, that I am of value. By you like talking to yourself, encouraging yourself, it really helps you mentally, because that is the beginning of your healing journey.
Okay.
When you accept yourself first. The second thing I can say, maybe you can talk to someone who you trust. And also someone who you feel has wisdom. You can trust someone, but then the person does not have wisdom. So instead of leading you, will be misleading you. I would advise, if you are talking to someone, talk to someone who maybe is a bit older than you. At least they have gone through life. At least they can advise you. Maybe you can meet someone who has gone through the same thing that maybe you are in, and they'll be able to advise you correctly.
Okay. So, one, you have said you accept yourself. Now let's come to faith. How can you help your son if you realize and undergo stress? As a mother or as a parent, how can you help your child or your teenage to accept himself? What can you do?
As a parent, when I find maybe my child is in a stressful moment, I try to sit down and talk with them. You see, like the way you talk about physical activities, I talk with them about the situations, like the way you talk physically, and I tend to introduce things that will be able to take away the stress. Like as a parent, I introduce healthy outlets, like I introduce and I tell my children, before you think of doing something, in your notebook, note down what you want to do. Before you think of doing something, maybe before you think of doing anything, write it down. You know, and I tell them, listen to music, pray about any situation. Sit down and pray about it. Pray about that thing that is becoming an issue that you think it is not doable. Pray about it. You know, and I tell them, you know, at some point when I find them and they are distressed, like now we have closed school, and you find the child, you sit and I tell the child, hebu toka kwanza nje kidogo, go and take a walk, use that route like that, you go, you upate fresh air hapo nje, and then you come back. You know, I'm trying to introduce things that will tend to take off stress from my child. And that is where I sit down one-on-one with the child, trying to talk like the way you do physical. You see, like the way you do physical activities. I talk healthy talks with them. Healthy talks that will be able to help them overcome the stress issues.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, thank you very much. I think it's a very, very great thing as a parent to understand, even to engage your child and to be able to understand what this child is going through. Now, to Kate, today things, they are different than our days. On our days, we could not be able to face mzai, unamwambia sasa wewe umenikosea, ungegogwa kama kitu ingine. Hiyo ni kukosa adabu. Siku hizi naambiwagwa, we baba umetukosea. Now, for you to live a life of stress-free as a teenage, what can you ask the parents ama unaweza address wazazi aje, yani jinsi ya create environment at home. Remember, also remembering ya kwamba things must learn and not everything that you need is there for you. You may be suffering some deficiency of some things. Now, how can you address a parent? Wewe kama kijana, at least they can make the family, the home to be conducive, and they accommodate their teens with their issues without creating more problems as a teenage.
Maybe one thing I can tell our parents. Number one, we love them very much. As much as they are strict. You know, najua kuna ile point yenye mzazi anakuwa strict, and even when you are at a point you want to open up, you can't, because wanaweza kuwa strict, they are undergoing their own things. And so when you come and bring your own problems, like sasa amtapatana. So one thing maybe I can tell our parents, as much as you are strict, as much as you want us to be disciplined, also be friendly. Like be that friend that will keep encouraging. Be that friend that we can rely on 24/7. That even when every other thing happens, because you know, dunia yetu yenye tuko sahi, like many things happen, but I can't come to tell you why. Because naogopa, when I tell you, 2 days later you're going to come with the point that I told you to shoot it back at me when I do a mistake.
Wazazi mnasikia vile Gen Z anasema. Continue.
Mostly hiyo ninakwanga fear. Naweza kuja, I can trust you with something. Maybe I say, let me try for once, talk with my mom. And maybe tell her, Mom, I have a boyfriend, and maybe alini heartbreak. But then 1 week later you'll come, when I do another mistake, you come and shoot it back at me. Nijua kijana sijui nini. Number one, be a friend. Alafu, the second thing I can say, like, you know, trusting someone, it's not easy. And I think this also applies to us as teenagers, that once trust is lost, to regain it back, it's really a hard process.
Okay, hold on. We are going to come back to you. Now, there's a challenge with the parents, because there are things that your son has kept in his heart. She can't tell you, no matter what. But once this guy meet a counselor or somebody who will open his heart, his or her heart to him, na namwambia, please tell me the secret things that you have never shared even to your parent, na mimi nitaweka hizo siri na sitazitoa. You have done with that not once, not twice. Anashare na anaambia, usiambie mzae. Oh no, where is the problem coming? That even your child can lose confidence with you, even wakati anapitia stress, na maybe ni mambo amejikuta amejigiza kwake, na hii mambo ya peer pressure na nini hiyo. We are going to come back to that. We are going to go back to there maybe today or another day. Now, what's happening? Why is this communication breaking between the child and the parent? What's the problem with this issue?
Thank you so much, Pastor. Out of my experience and out of sharing with the fellow parents within my circle and outside my circle that you find in social life and everything, you find the child tends to hide, to open up, as Kate is saying, because we parents tend to come back and use that situation to criticize the child. Because you find, kwa sababu uliniambia kuhusu hiyo kijana, you see, it is the reason unafanya hiyo mambo. That is criticism. And criticism brings about, it makes your child it makes your child hide things, hide secrets that he or she cannot be able to tell you. But as a parent, what I do is when we are in good moods and when we are seated down there, maybe we are maybe watching television and laughing and everything, I tend to find a way that I will tend to penetrate through my children's minds and emotions and share with them. And I tell them, I keep on encouraging you and telling you, I would never want you to make mistakes that I made when I was a teenager. So when you are in this age and in this era of teenage, I keep on telling you, share it with me. And I tend to sit down and crack jokes with them, play games with them. And that is where I find, whenever I do it, we tend to be close with them. And when we are in that situation of being close, I tend to ask them and I tell them, oh, what about your boyfriend? What about your girlfriend? And they will blush off and laugh, and you see they don't want to tell me, but they will end up opening and telling me, hey mom, hapana, huyo si uliza huyu, eh. And that is where I tend to get the points from. And I tell them, it is where we bring topics of letting them know about body, being aware of your body, who your body is. And I try to penetrate in a way that I'll be able to capture something that is hidden in their minds or inside their hearts. And when I find haitoki hiyo siri yenye nataka itoke, whenever I'm with my friends, with my fellow parents who are friends and they know my children, I tend to tell them, fulani, like I'll tell my friend Eunice, nataka uongee na huyu. You know, I'll tell Eunice, I want you to speak with him and I want you to be able to relate with him. And he will be able to open up, akwambie ni wapi sifanyi vile inafaa. Maybe I've been criticizing him, maybe I've been judging him, maybe I've been comparing with another child. Let him open up to you. Wow. In situations or in circumstances that he's not able to open up to me. Why I feel hapa nina fichwa. So when I tend to feel hapa nina fichwa kitu, I tend to send them to my sisters, to my brother, you know, to my parents, mahali penye huyo mtoto nataka I feel comfortable yenye anashindwa kuniambia. And that way I'll be able to capture what is inside their hearts and their emotions. Wow. Yes.
I know it's a broad topic.
Yes.
We will continue. Maybe, Kate, what are your final remarks concerning the issue of parents and stress? Because that's hapo ndipo tutawekea koma leo. Do you think parents are really understanding the life of a teenage, considering the seasons that you are in and their days? For a minute, maybe. Some final remarks.
I can say, let me say this personally. Personally, I feel like my parent really tries to understand me. Yes.
You can give them a credit on that.
Yes, I can give them a credit on that. They really do understand me. And as much as najua kuna times wanakwanga almost kuni criticize, I'm like, I won't do it again. It won't happen again. Also, as a teen, I can encourage you. You know, you can't know a mistake unless you are corrected. And when you are corrected, don't take the correction in a negative way. Wow. Take a correction in a positive way.
Wow. So, matins watafute relationship na wazazi. Waache kuhibernate. Yeah. Faith, your last comment.
My last comment, I would tell my fellow parents that let's try to raise a generation that won't have to heal in adulthood. Won't have to heal in adulthood in a way that from what could have been done when that could have been addressed in childhood. Wacha tule generation yenye that person had to heal from iyo adult akiwa adult.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow, that's great. Our viewers, I think we are dealing with a very sensitive topic. Stress is killing our young people outside there. Very few people are ready to listen to them. Very few people are ready to engage them, even outside there. We are there to criticize them. We are there to judge them. And I think it is good that we come to the point of understanding. Number one, we understand their age, the season they are in. And we, wazazi wengine ni millennium, wengine ni X generation, na wengine na uko, to understand ya kwamba we are living on a totally different seasons. So we will continue from here next week. Please, we also want to tell you ya kwamba even next week we'll be here live. We continue with where we have stopped. Tumeweka tu msingi. Na next time we are going to go deeper and even to see how we can be able to help our young people to overcome stress, and how we also as a parents, we can be able to assist our children to overcome stress, even as a parent, how we can be able also to get out of stress because of our children. Maana wazazi wengi wamefika kiwango ya kwamba wamepitia uchungu mpaka wao wenyewe wako karibu kutoroka manyumbani kwa sababu ya pressure ya watoto wao. So God bless you so much. Keep in touch with us. Every Saturday we are here, and God bless you so much. Thank you.
Blossom Diaspora Media, testifying